In this video, I'm going to show you how to get free from years of chronically achy joints and regain your athleticism regardless of your age. My name is Will Roberts. I played college and minor pro hockey and then competed in American Ninja Warrior. But more importantly for you, for the last 20 years, I've been helping people free themselves from achy joints, get crazy strong, and truly become lifelong athletes. Let's jump into the training session. All right, let's jump into the actual workout here. I'm going to show you the 3 segments that I use to build workouts to, number 1, get people free of achy joints, number 2, make them feel strong and athletic, and number 3, empower them to adjust workouts based on what equipment they might have, or maybe more importantly, how much time they have on their hands. Some of my best workouts over the years have been between 10 and 40 minutes. They don't all need to be 2-hour marathons. And it really blesses my clients to feel empowered to build their workouts based on their goal and their respective situation. So the 3 segments are as follows. This is really like the secret sauce, guys. I'm going to give you exactly how I break this down for people, and it's going to empower you forever. Segment number 1 is what I call prehab or corrective. Prehab meaning what you do to avoid getting injured, as opposed to rehab, which is what you do after you've been injured. That's where we activate the area that we're going to use that day, we undo any bad habits, and we correct any imbalances or things that might be malfunctioning. Okay? And it just really prepares us to succeed in that workout and also to succeed training long term. Segment number 2 is strength. This is where we want to get measurably stronger and always with perfect form. Now, the secret here is not spending too much time on segment number 2. This is where most people spend all their time, and it is important to get stronger, but we don't just want to be great weightlifters. We want to build up crazy strength and athleticism in the gym, and then go be able to move well, play sports, pick up new skills and hobbies, and just have adventures and live life. We don't just want to be good weightlifters. So we're not actually going to spend too much time on that. I'm going to show you how to do all this. But then segment number 3, and this is where the magic happens. This is what sets us apart from anything else on the planet. Segment 3 is length and or moving fast. So it's like 3A and 3B, okay? And you can't have one of these without the other, okay? And I'll show you again how to do all of this, okay? So let's just jump right in and I'll break all this down for you, make it really clear so you're totally empowered. Let's jump in with segment number 1. This is prehab or corrective. Okay, so we're going to use the lower body as an example. We're going to talk about knee health and having strong, powerful, athletic legs. So the exercise I'm going to use for this prehab segment is called a knees over toes step up. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this and how to make it harder or easier as needed as well to scale. You're going to hear me use this phrase, scaling to your respective level. That means I might need to make something a lot easier because I'm not very strong in that area, or I've had lots of injuries. Or maybe I need to make it a lot harder because I'm really strong in that area and I'm a freak athlete. So we always want to be able to scale it to our respective level. So a knees over toes step up looks like this. I'm going to elevate my foot on something so I have a lot of range of motion. I'm going to stand up really tall, let this other foot hang off the end, and then I'm going to squat down on that one leg until I touch my heel, pause, and then I'm going to stand back up to the top. Down under control, pause, press back. Now notice that I intentionally let my knee travel forward over my toe. A regular or a traditional step up has your hips going to the rear and is more hip and glute focused. Any exercise that lets your knees travel forward will naturally be more quad and knee focused. So we're prepping the knees right now. That's why we're doing a knees over toes version. Now, here's a rule. I always need you working pain-free. I use the phrase, I want you to work in the greatest pain-free range of motion. No working through pain, okay? Now, with that said though, I do want you to work adjacent to pain. So a good example of this is squatting. A lot of people, maybe they can squat from here to here pain-free, but when they get around parallel, they get pain or discomfort in their knees. I don't want you to work through pain, but I do want you to work in the greatest pain-free range of motion that you possibly can. Okay? Step ups are another good example of this. So what I can do if I need to make it easier is I can stand on flat ground. Like this. Down under control, touch my heel, and then press back to the top. Notice that it's not as big of a knee bend this time. Like that. So I want you to work in the greatest pain-free range of motion that you can and accumulate lots of high-quality reps like that. You're also welcome to put a hand on something for balance. That's totally fine. Down under control, pause, press back to the top. And then you'd go back to that elevated version so I can get a little bit more range of motion. And then as I get stronger, I can add weight and or I can add more range of motion. So I'm going to choose a bigger object to stand on. Down under control, lightly touch my heel, pause, stand back up. I can add weight and or I could even add heel elevation so that I can get my knee further forward, which makes it more challenging on your quads and your knees. Again, always working pain-free. Stand up real tall, down under control, lightly touch the heel, press back to the top. And then I can add weight in the form of dumbbells or a barbell as I see fit. So that's segment 1. Now the cool thing about this is, let's say that you only had 20 minutes to train. I break these up in different segments. Segment 1 is usually 20 minutes or less. Segment 2, which we'll get to, 20 minutes or less. Segment 3, which we'll get to, 20 minutes or less. So if I only have a little bit of time, I could pick one of those segments, train that, and be really successful. And then if I need to be done for the day, I can, and I will already have gotten a ton of quality work done. But this only works, and I want you to hear me on this, this only works if you have a plan. If you don't have a plan when you go into your workout and you're like, oh, I should do, I'll do some of that, maybe some of that, I haven't done that in a while. You're gonna spend like half of your time figuring out what you wanna do, and then you're gonna run out of time, and then you're gonna be more frustrated. I don't want that for you. I love removing people's stress from their lives and making this like an enjoyable process. So if you don't have a plan and you're pressed for time, man, it's hard to succeed. If you're pressed for time and you have a plan, you can easily adjust those workouts to still get a ton of really quality work done despite being pressed for time. Okay? So if all I did was my knees over toes step-ups for like 10 or 12 minutes, got great work done, then I run out of time, hey man, I got awesome work done that day, and I'll come back and I can build from there the next time. Does that make sense? Let's jump into segment number 2. Segment number 2 is strength, and this is probably the easiest one to mess up. This is what I see most people doing completely wrong if they want to be lifelong athletes, if they want to be free of achy joints. And if you go to a normal public gym, no judgment, but this is what you see most people doing. They go in and they just lift some weights kind of haphazardly, just banging out weight, and their goal from day to day and from week to week is just solely to add more weight to the bar. And while I do want you to get measurably stronger, that's something that I believe in, that's not the only thing that we should be valuing in our training. I want proper position. I want more weight, more reps, more range of motion, better engagement of the right muscles, better ability to relax and contract, all these things that paint a picture of overall health, fitness, athleticism, and I use this word robustness, that we can translate what we built up in the gym to real life tasks. So, all that to say, if all that you do is lift weights with the goal of lifting more weight, you're gonna sooner or later become tight and achy and probably unathletic, if I'm just being honest. Okay? That's not to say you shouldn't lift weights. I do want you to. That's what we're gonna do in this segment, but it can't be the only thing that you focus on. That's why we have segment 1, the prehab and corrective segment. Number 2 is strength, but only in the right amounts. And then number 3 is where the magic happens. We'll get there in just a minute, okay? But for number 2, since I do want you to get stronger, all that aside, sticking with our lower body example, we're gonna use a barbell squat as my lower body example for strength, okay? This is a total classic, assuming that your position is good, which we'll talk about in another video, but assuming that your position and your posture is good, I do want you to try to get measurably stronger. I recommend 3 sets, and I recommend as follows. This is just a framework, okay? You can obviously go outside of this, but as a starting point, set 1, 10 reps, that's an easy set. Set number 2, 7 reps, that's a medium intensity set. And then set 3, roughly 3 reps, that's a very high intensity set. And then you're basically done with your strength work for that workout. Yes, there can be different versions of this, and if you guys ever get into my programs, I'll show you how to manipulate this and different phases and things like that. But for a general rule, 10, 7, 3. Okay? So your first set should be a mostly easy set with a weight that you're comfortable and confident with. Standing up tall, down under control, full range of motion, like that. Okay? So first set, let's assume I did 10 reps. Then you're gonna rest, let's say 2 minutes. You're not gonna speed through this, but I also don't want you lingering on the strength work too long either. Like I was saying, this is not the main event of this workout, believe it or not. That segment 3 is the main event. So that was set 1. I'm doing this in real time, guys. Set 1 was 10 reps, an easy set. Set 2, 7 reps. Okay? Let's pretend that was my 7th rep. And then you're going to take a good rest, let's say 2 minutes. You're going to hang for a little bit. You're not going to be in a hurry, but you're also not going to dawdle. Not going to start scrolling on your phone, checking Instagram. You're just hanging out, chatting. You realize that 20 minutes has gone by and you haven't actually gotten your workout done, and now you got to go be somewhere. Okay, and then your last set, let's say roughly 3 reps, and that one should be noticeably heavier. Stand up tall, down under control, full range of motion. Okay? So, that's our strength segment. We had our prehab segment, we have our strength segment, and then we get into the main event, which is segment 3. Before we jump into the most important part of this, segment 3, I'd love to invite you to join my coaching app that gives access to all of my programs, including my famous bulletproof joint protocols, restoration strength, and our flagship program, athletic reprogramming. And it's not just access to the workouts. You actually get direct coaching from me. I coach your form. It's amazing. Clients love it. I'm very proud of it. Feel free to jump in, and I'll see you there. Welcome to the main event, segment 3. This is what really sets this programming apart from everything else and takes you from not just being strong in the gym, but turning you into a pain-free, lifelong athlete. For me personally, this is what took me from being slow and unathletic, as described by pretty much every one of my hockey coaches growing up, to being one of the fast guys when I played college and then minor pro hockey. I'm super thankful for that, and I want that for you as well. So we had our corrective prehab segment, we had our strength segment, and now segment 3 is length and or move fast. Okay, length and or move fast. And this is all building on each other, as you probably figured out by now. I like the prehab stuff first. I want you to build a baseline of strength, but we don't stop there. Then we have to make the muscles very, very long. And once you're long, we have to move fast. So you can translate this to sports, skills, hobbies, having adventures in real life. My primary tool for doing that, for building length in the lower body, sticking with our lower body theme here, is called ISO Extreme Lunge. You may have heard of this. It's kind of famous or maybe infamous, but like I said, it's been crazy effective for me and for all of my clients. So here's how this works. You're gonna take a nice big step, like a big lunge step, front shin straight up and down, torso upright, so no funny angles, okay? You're gonna take a big breath through your nose, exhale, and then drop all the way down as deep as you comfortably can, slightly below 90 degrees would be great, straightening that back leg down and back, and pulling downward through this front hamstring. So I'm not just like hanging here with gravity, but I'm actually actively pulling myself downward. My torso stays upright, shoulders, arms, hands relaxed. I'm looking straight ahead and breathing through my nose only. We're gonna stay in that bottom position, that deep position. We're gonna build that up to 1 minute each side, 3 minutes each side, and even 5 minutes each side for adaptation. Yeah, and it's as hard as it sounds. It's crazy, but trust me, if you put in effort into this, you give a world-class effort, the results that you get will change your life forever. And I'm not exaggerating. That's not even just my experience, so it is. That's hundreds of my clients over the years, over the last 20 years. But it is hard, but it is worth it. Okay, so that's how we remove restrictions and limitations and inhibitions off of the lower body. If all you do is strength work in the gym, like most people, like I was talking about earlier, you will get stronger, but you might find that you feel restricted and bound up. Anybody ever seen people like that in the gym? You're like, man, you're really strong. You can squat a house, but then they go out and play flag football with their friends on Thanksgiving morning and they tweak a hamstring. Like that doesn't make any sense to be able to squat really heavy and then go out and run a little bit and tweak a muscle, because they're just building up gym strength. They're not building up athletic strength. So the ISO extremes, this length concept, is one of the ways that we take that strength we built up and turn it into athletic muscle. So I said length and or move fast, right? So once you're long, you've built this up to 1 minute, 3 minutes each side, 5 minutes even, then I need you to start moving fast and springy. One of my favorite phrases for this is twitchy, all right? You see really good athletes, they're just like, they're shifty or twitchy, okay? So my favorite tool for that is called rebound reps. Rebound reps, okay? So think about starting at the top of a range of motion, pulling down fast, and then snapping back up. Choo, choo, choo. So you're pulling down fast and trying to get off the bottom as fast and aggressively as you can. So let's go back to our lunge. I'll flip the other direction here. So this would be a rebound lunge. Nice big step, front shin straight up and down, torso upright, pressing this back leg down and back. And I'm going to start at the top, so slightly above parallel this time. And I'm going to drop down and snap back up. Okay? So it'll look like this. Okay, so it's not a huge range of motion, as you can see, but it should be extremely aggressive. It should feel really springy and athletic and good. Usually we do these for higher volume than most exercises. Let's say like 10 to 100 reps at a time. And man, if you get really good at these rebound reps, you will feel crazy athletic and twitchy, and you'll be able to translate all that strength that you built up in the gym to sports, skills, hobbies, and real life tasks. That is what I want for you. Okay, so quick recap. Prehab, strength. We don't spend too much time on the strength phase. And then length and or move fast. That is how we build pain-free, lifelong athletes. Okay, last thoughts here. First of all, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I don't take this for granted. I love what I get to do. It's a total blessing for me. With that in mind, I'd love to invite you to join my coaching app that gives access to all of my programs, including my famous bulletproof joint protocols. We have shoulder protocols, elbow and wrist protocols, back, hip protocols, and knee protocols. And they're game changers. Like, it's incredible, some of the testimonials. Just scroll down and watch them when you get a chance. You also get access to restoration strength, which is basically like the joint protocols built into a full body restorative strengthening, as the name implies, program. This is one of my favorite programs because it's very scalable. If you haven't worked out in a long time, or you've got some aches and pains, or even if you're an elite athlete, you can scale and adjust it to your respective level. And then finally, our flagship program, Athletic Reprogramming. If you want to get strong, be free of aches and pains, and become a lifelong athlete, this is the program for you. There's nothing else like it on the planet. I'm super proud of this. Jump in, have fun training, and I'll see you there.